Hi, welcome to Season 1, Episode 1. This is Steph's Cooking Channel, and I'm Stephanie Ekwall. Now, for my first recipe, I chose to teach you how to make a whole chicken in the slow cooker, and then take the bones, the skin, and the cartilage and make a rich bone broth. Now, the reason I chose that first is because I figured with recipes down the line that I'll be showing you may call for chicken stock or bone broth, and this way you can refer back to this episode to know how to make it from scratch. Also, bone broth is considered a superfood because it's very rich in minerals that are drawn out from the bones. That's very absorbable by the body. Also, it's rich in glucosamine, which is good for your joints, and it's rich in gelatin, which is soothing to the digestive tract and also good for your hair, skin, and nails. So stay tuned and we'll come back and start cooking. Okay, welcome back. I'd like to tell you what you're going to need. You want to start out with one whole free-range organic chicken, which obviously is important to start out with a good healthy chicken because we are going to be making the bone broth from it. So a free-range organic chicken, 2 or 3 whole carrots, 2 or 3 celery sticks, also approximately 5 peeled whole garlic cloves, about 10 or so whole peppercorns, some sea salt, and either a half of a lemon or 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Also, a half of an onion. So here you can see all my vegetables are roughly chopped. Onions and celery, carrots and celery are in chunky pieces. And I've got my 5 peeled whole garlic cloves. Today I'm going to be using the half a lemon instead of the 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. So you're just going to add in the vegetables all around the chicken that's already in the crock pot. Just throw everything in around the chicken. The vegetables are going to give it flavoring. The whole peeled garlic cloves, I like to stick in between the wings and also around the chicken. Approximately 10 or 15 whole peppercorns, throw in. Now you want to sprinkle the top of the chicken with some sea salt. Just whatever you think's necessary. And then we're going to add water to our slow cooker until it reaches about 2 inches from the top. And then you just want to put the top on and put it on low for about 6 hours. Okay, it's been about 6 hours now, so we're going to turn it off and take the top off so it can cool for the next hour at least. That way you can work with the chicken to debone it. Alrighty, let that cool. And this is a good time to pour a glass of wine, put your feet up, and just enjoy it till that's ready. Hey, okay, well, I've been relaxing for an hour to let this cool. And, oh, one thing I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention before, the reason you use the half of lemon juice or apple cider vinegar in the recipe is because when the water is a little acidic, it helps pull out the minerals from the bones, which is what you want. So anyway, you're going to want a strong spatula to pull the chicken up from the bottom. We're going to have a container next to us to receive the chicken. and some tongs from the top. There really is no easy way to do this. However you feel comfortable or find a good way to do it, go for it. Oh, geez. Okay. Let it drain a little bit over the pot for just a moment. All right, and into there. Wow, I think that was the easiest I ever did it. Okay, so from here, we're going to take the skin off, debone everything, even down to the tiniest little fragments. Get all the cartilage, everything, and put it back in here, including the vegetables. We really just want shredded meat in the container. So this is Shane's job in our household, to debone the chicken. He says he does a better job getting all the small fragments.
I don't like to eat bones in my food, so I like to pick the bones out and do it myself. And that's what we're doing right now, is taking a couple of forks, peel it apart, pick up the bones, throw it in the broth. Soon to be broth.
Okay, so if your chicken came with the giblets, this is the time you want to add them to the broth. All those lovely organs. Alrighty. And then you want to add a little bit more water to your crock till about your 2 inches. 2 inches below the rim there. We've got all our skin, bones, cartilage, veggies all back inside. And you're just going to turn that on and let it simmer on low for another 24 hours, give or take. Hi, we're back. It's 24 hours later now, and we've let the broth cook for an additional 24 hours. And what you want to do now is we're going to strain it. So here's a couple tips from me. I use this cheap plastic bowl, and the reason I use this bowl is because of the lip right here. Can you see that? And that makes it easy for transferring into the mason jars to store. So that's about it. I've let it cool so we can work with it. I'm going to put it under a strainer. Now this is really important. You got to use a fine mesh strainer. Today I'm going to use this, but sometimes I use something as cheap and old as this. Hold on. This happens to sit perfectly on this bowl, and that works well too. But I'm going to try this bigger one today. Hope it works, because I think this is the first time I've used it. Ooh, hot. Be careful. Just let everything drain. And then we're going to put it in the mason jars. Okay, so we strained our bone broth. If you want to freeze it, I would recommend using plastic freezer containers that are made for freezing and not glass, because water wants to expand when it freezes and it'll break the glass. So you want to use a Ziploc bag or freezer-friendly containers. Also, as this cools, the fat is going to rise to the top. There's going to be a solid layer of fat, which is a good thing. It seals everything in and will keep it fresh for a very long time. I've read up to 6 months in the refrigerator. I don't know if I would personally recommend that, but I think a good month is probably safe. Don't quote me on that. See what works for you. But it does keep it fresh. Also, when you go to use the containers and you have that thick layer of fat on there, take it off before you use it in a recipe. Take that layer of fat off and put it into a glass container or some sort of container that you can use later for cooking. It makes a great substitute for butter, oil, stuff like that, so you can cook with it. And it's a good use of your product. So I also want to say, don't forget to subscribe below to my YouTube channel, hit like and leave a comment, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and also on my website, www.steffscookingchannel.com, for all my latest recipes. And don't forget, it's Steph with an F.